Hey everybody, Bones here, Bones Garage, just bringing you update what's going on at the garage. So, 1966 Chevy Chevelle SS 396. She's coming along great. We have now gotten the last of the hose organizers for the heater hoses in, and you can see how nice that looks. Look at how nice and neat that is. Then they come up and they go to their proper outlets. One on the water pump down there and one on the manifold up there with your bypass hose right next to it. The correct upper radiator hose, which he didn't have that before. They had just taken one of those ugly covert pipe looking pieces of hose and made it fit. Well, they do make a hose, and if you can find one and spend a little bit of time, you could make it all work out right. Same thing with the downstairs hose down there. The feed hose into the radiator. That hose is now the correct hose. The hose that they had on there actually was folding right over here because they just didn't have the right hose on it. So they just bent it up to make it fit. You can see how nice we run all of our wires. They're all P-clipped in, so they stay where they're supposed to. We also, on the power wire, that's your red wire, that's your 12-volt wire off of there, we run split loom tubing or some kind of protection over it. So if it does rub up on something, it's not going to cut into the wire. It will keep it protected, keep it safe. All of our grounds are correct where they're supposed to be and clean, and then we also put dielectric grease in the connection point. So this way they stay connected and they keep working. You don't have bad and intermittent problems with electrical work. Another thing we did was we changed out his brake lines. We do make all of our own brake lines, and that is exactly what we did here. We took out all that sloppiness that they had here where it was rubbing up against here. If you look back there, you can see all the scratches on the fender well where the actual brake line was rubbing at one time. So we took all that apart, fixed it, made it right, made it nice. Look, it doesn't hit anymore. It won't rub the paint off, nor will it damage the actual brake line. So we do all of our own brake lines. We do all of our own bending. We make all the little spirals like they're supposed to, because if you look, things flex. When they flex, the more you bend them back and forth, the weaker they get, the more they'll break. That is why they put these spirals in it, to help it so it doesn't, to give the flex some place to go. So that came out really, really nice. We have also finished aligning all of his accessory drive. Came out absolutely beautiful. I like this accessory drive system. It's not too much, it's not too little, and it keeps that old style look with the V-belts, which is something that he wanted. And if you look at how nice, look at how perfect, I mean, absolutely perfectly straight from this groove in the pulley to that groove in that pulley. Look at how perfectly straight those belts are. Perfect. So when you hit the high RPMs and the belts start to flex up and down and move around, it will not throw the belt off. Belt will stay right where it's supposed to be. If you have them misaligned, that could become a problem where they throw belts. And a lot of guys, they do have that problem. So we align everything. We make sure we have all the shims, the correct shims, to make everything work properly from top to bottom. So it really is coming out nice. Another thing we're doing is I love these wire looms. They keep the spark plug wires away from the hot header and keep them very well organized. So if you're doing a tune-up, you just pull the plug wire off and you can let it hang right there, because that's cylinder number 1, that's cylinder number 3, that's cylinder number 5, and that cylinder back there is number 7. And the wires are easy now to figure out. So you don't have to worry about confusing what wire goes to what spark plug. Makes everything a little bit nicer, a little bit neater, much better looking.